My name is Olivia and I'm a program planning officer at UNM Online, but I'm also an online student in the Design for Online Learning concentration for the Organization, Information and Learning Sciences Master's Program. To be honest, it was a pretty rough transition for me. As a literature major, primarily it was a very solitary type of instruction. I was very used to being by myself, reading books, writing papers, and that was basically my experience. I loved lectures, so I really got a lot from in-person instruction, and I was that person who was really enthusiastic about answering questions and engaging in discussion. That all changed in this program. I had to basically make a big mental shift to online learning. A lot of the work was collaborative, group-based, so it was a big transition, and I needed a lot of time to make that transition because the type of learning that I was engaged in was so different. The shift that I had to make to learning online was really difficult, but because the subject matter of this program kind of fit into my work, I've just sort of recategorized it in my mind to just be an extension of work, and that's actually helped me to make school less of a bummer because school can be a bummer. It's hard, it encroaches on the time that you have with your family, with your friends. I just wanted to be honest about that because it's not always fun and it can be really difficult, but just keep your eye at the end of your journey, and that being having that master's degree. Absolutely. I want to quit all the time. What keeps me going is really just knowing that this is a goal that I've had for myself for some time now, is to get a master's degree. So I always have to center myself, come back to that. And really it's also to enrich my career. It's a really good way to inform the things that I'm doing as part of a marketing team with students. So working with students, I knew that it would be a really valuable experience having a person who was one of their peers. So they could come to me as one of their peers for assistance. So I really think it's just about staying focused on your long-term goals. And that's really hard for us to do because we live in such an instant gratification type of society, and so this is really an exercise in delayed gratification, and that takes a lot of perseverance and really sticking to the big picture and the end goal, which, you know, is gonna probably be a far away path, but it's definitely worth getting there. I think the biggest thing is to just find your why and stick with it, because it will pay off in the end. So I knew that my free time was going to be taken up mostly with school, but I didn't realize quite how much of my time was going to be taken up with school. My hobbies have, I guess, been more time intensive than I thought originally. I like to cook, I like to garden, and all of a sudden I didn't have as much time to devote to those things. So it was really just a shift. It was hard. It was really hard. Coming back for the first time was very challenging because I had been out of school for maybe about 10 years. So it was really a mental shift having to come back. And really the thing that has kept me sane through the whole process of coming back to school and readjusting is really getting in tune with my needs. You might, as an online student like me, be in a spot where you're reading the same words on the page over and over and they're just not sticking. Or you're sitting in front of a blank page and you're just really not able to get focused or a train of thought going. I take that as my sign to stop, rest, and recollect myself, because I want to be an effective student, not just someone who's going through the motions. Time management is the most important thing, and you really have to carve out more time than you would anticipate doing assignments, discussions, and readings. I found out that everything takes way longer than I anticipate. It's really important to stay on track, plan, try to work ahead if you can, but it's just a matter of staying on track. I'm in an accelerated online program, and so that means that all of my classes are 8 weeks long, and with the speed at which those classes happen, it's really easy to fall behind. So it's really just a matter of planning and managing your time well. Screen time breaks are crucial. Turn off your computer, go outside, touch the grass, and just let your eyes shift back to reality. I find that that is really, really helpful. So I usually will sit down for the week and plan to work about 2 to 3 hours each workday. And the way I split it up is I usually will do my readings during my lunch break, and then I'll plan on tacking on a couple hours after work, since I'm already at my computer, for starting on my discussions, prepping for any assignments and things like that. So I'll devote 2 to 3 hours after work, Monday through Friday. And then with how my courses are structured, most things are due on Sundays. So I'll hop on for another hour or two to respond to discussions and do any final edits, and then ultimately turn things in. So as I mentioned, I'm in the Organization, Information, and Learning Sciences program. My concentration is designed for online learning. And really what led me to that program choice was my professional career. This job really gave me a manageable workload for me to be able to pursue a degree. And since I was assisting students in that role, I thought, well, why don't I go into something that we offer as one of our online programs, so that I can really help students a little bit better to know where they're coming from and be able to have a really good grasp on at least this program in particular, to then be able to recruit more students for it and be able to really flesh out the different concentrations in the oils program, because it's a really popular offering for staff who are students. And so really it was just about enriching those conversations. And in my professional career, being in this online program has been influential and invaluable when talking to students about online education at UNM. My name is Olivia Torres Jojola. I'm a program planning officer at UNM Online, and I'm a current online student in the Organization, Information, and Learning Sciences.